I am Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Book 101. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He is an award winning author, and of course, best selling author to no other than Mr. J. Edwards Holt.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to Book 101, Mr. Holt, and can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm J. Edwards Holt. I'm an author of fantasy fiction, primarily young adult, but I also have a couple of books for children as well. Aside from that, I write some in the religious genre as well as writing for a health and wellness magazine.
Indeed, Mr. Holt, how does it feel that you got both best selling author and, of course, award winning author?
Oh, it was surprising, that's for sure, but very good feeling.
Yes, so what are your short term and long term goals in writing?
Um, let's see. Short term, I hope to, finish the book that I'm working on now, and long term, I hope to just keep on writing books and, touching people's lives with the stories.
Yes. So, what age did you realize that you're good in writing?
Hmm. I would say probably maybe about 8 or 9 years old. Very early on, I realized that I enjoyed it. Um, and I kept at it and I kept doing it, and just maybe just a few years ago I decided to go ahead and try writing a full-length book, and the it just turned out into a bunch of books, so uh, I'm very proud of that.
Who encouraged you to pursue your writing?
Hmm. Well, a lot of people around me, when I was in school, different teachers per- uh, challenged me to continue writing, and you know um, as I got older, a lot of family and friends, would tell me I needed to go ahead and write something, and they just encouraged me to get started.
Who are your favorite authors that influence you the most?
Yeah, I love the works by C.S. Lewis. His fantasy stuff primarily. I just love the way he handles fantasy, and of course, J.R.R. Tolkien. I love his works. Um, those are probably my two favorite.
If you describe the writing style of your favorite authors, what is it or what are they?
Um, the style that I try to model by is just descriptive writing that really captures the attention of the reader, that brings them into the story. It's not overly complicated, but it really gets them into the story, and makes them feel like they're one of the characters, and just getting the reader in, and um, you know trying to make sure that they enjoy from beginning to end.
Yes, so Mr. Holt, you are ordained minister. Can you tell us about it?
Yes. I grew up in church, and we had various programs that I participated in, and one of those programs uh, qualified us for ordination, and I went and online, and did some things to get my official ordination, um, and became a minister that way. I'm not like a not like a pastor or anything like that, but I am a minister.
As a mental health advocate, is it that you can see in your writing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that in our writing, different pieces of us come out, and I think that in mine, different pieces of me come out. Um, and there's in several of my stories, there's stuff about just not fitting in and trying to be like others, and then coming to the realization that you don't have to fit in. You can just be yourself, and um, it's what a lot of those of us with mental illness struggle with, I think. And I try to incorporate that as much as I can in my stories to encourage people.
Yes, indeed. So, Mr. Holt, tips for having a
Um,
good mental health.
one important thing is having a good network. Having a good uh, support group of people. Whether that's your family or friends or coworkers or your church or whatever. It's good to have people that will help you if you need it. Um, if you have some kind of mental illness, I definitely recommend going for help and um, searching for help until you get the right help. And don't ignore it, because it doesn't get better if you ignore it. And um, I just always tell people to go ahead and don't be ashamed to ask for help.
Yes, people, if you need help, reach out to the people really qualified to help you.
Absolutely.
In your writing, you can see the Christian values.
Yes. It most of the works that I have Christian based values in them. They're subtle, they're not in your face or anything, but they are present if you see them.
And you are watching science fiction, superhero novels. What are your favorite? Can you tell us five at least?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I love anything to do with superheroes. I love to watch like Star Wars, the Avengers, um, all the Marvel and DC stuff. I'm into just about all of it.
So, do you think in the future you can write a novel about a superhero?
It's possible. It's very possible. Yeah,
Yes. And you're collecting comic books too?
I do. Yes, I occasionally get a few comic books. I haven't collected as much lately, but I do have a collection. Yep.
Who influenced you to do this hobby?
Um, I just grew up reading comics. I grew up reading comics, and I always, um, I was going to the comic book store every week or so, and I saved most of the comics that I got.
And I think you're doing also a coloring book, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah. I just came out with a coloring book based on some of my characters and stories.
So, where did you get that idea?
Um, I just shopping in stores. I would see coloring books, and I just started to think I wanted one a coloring book, with my characters in it and everything. So I talked to an illustrator, and we got everything together, and um, she did the illustrations for me, and I put them into the coloring book.
Yes, interesting indeed, Mr. Holt. But before we go on, I want to shout out to the people listening in the United States, especially in the state of North Carolina. Where do you live, right, Mr. Holt?
Uh
You
huh.
live. Yes, I have 44 places in North Carolina listening to my podcast in Huntersville. I will name some of them, not all, but thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, in Huntersville, I have 69% audience share. Asheville at 3%, Roanoke Rapids at 3%, Charlotte at 3%, Waukesha at 2%, Cary at 2%, Lumberton at 2%, Wake Forest at 1%, New Bern, Greensboro, Ashboro, Gastonia, Knightdale, Hickory, Mount Holly, Winston-Salem, Wilmington, Durham, and many more. I got 44 places in North Carolina listening to my podcast, and thank you so much for supporting this podcast, because this podcast is created to empower writers all over the world, like Mr. J. Edwards Hall. So, Mr. Holt, let's talk about your most popular book, Sparrow Songbird.
Yes, absolutely. That yeah, it surprised me that that's the most popular one. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it's free. It's a free short story um, on Amazon. So anybody who wants to download Sparrow Songbird by J. Edwards Holt, you can download it on Amazon or Google Play Books, Apple Books, anywhere that you can buy ebooks. It's completely free. It's a short story, and it's kind of a gateway into my larger book of short stories that has been very successful. There's a little something in it for everybody, whether you like high fantasy or bedtime stories, or whether you're an older adult, middle aged, or a young child. It's something for, I think, something for everybody in there. So I encourage anyone to go check out Sparrow Songbird, and hopefully it leads them right to my book of short stories, The Storyteller's Diary.
Yes, Sparrow Songbird. How did you crafted it?
Hmm. I just I just got to thinking about these stories. Just it's about a bird that sings even in the midst of trouble and tribulations. And I just came up with that story of how sometimes we just need to keep our heads held up, and maybe sing a little jolly tune in the bad times as well. And just that kind of encouragement to just keep on singing even when times get tough.
Yes, Sparrow Songbird. What behind the title of this short story?
Yeah, the bird that's featured in the story is a sparrow, a small sparrow. And songbird because it's a singing sparrow that sings in the trees.
Do you think in the future, if you want to revise this Sparrow Songbird, would you like to make it a novel?
Hmm. I've never really thought about that. I guess it could happen. It's pretty short, so, but I guess there could be something built around it.
So even if this is very short story, what do you think the best highlight?
Um, I think the message behind it is good. I think it's an encouraging message to just keep on going even in tough times.
Yes, very well said, Mr. Holt. But before we go on, I'm inviting you to listen to my other podcast, Geography 101, on our third season. Geography 101 is all about the places that I visited from Europe, Caribbean, North America, South America, Asia, and a lot more. And please do listen to my latest episode. I talk about one of the busiest sport in England, Dover, people. So please do listen. Geography 101. So, Mr. Holt, Sparrow, Songbird, what else you can say about it?
Um, I think I've pretty much said all there is to say about it. Except I just want to reiterate to everyone where they can find it. Amazon. It's for free on Amazon. It's for free anywhere you can buy ebooks. So, I suggest you go ahead and download it. You have nothing to lose at all. So, I think everybody will enjoy it.
Yes, Mr. Holt, if you describe your writing style, what is it?
Um, I think it's. I guess I would describe it, or I've had other people describe it as just kind of everybody friendly. It's um, most of these books are technically in the young adult genre, but they've been enjoyed by you know um, young children as well as much older adults. So I think that I try to write in a way that is kind of um, just kind of engaging for all audiences.
Very well said, Mr. Holt. Are you indie or traditional publishing?
Indie.
What is the pros and cons of indie publishing?
Let's see. Well, I'll start with the cons. Some of the cons are, you don't have a big publishing house behind you. You don't really have the whole large team. You don't have the huge amounts of money to promote your books. Um, so that's some of the cons. But some of the pros that I like about it is just uh, like the creative freedom. Being able to write my stories the way I want them, being able to design my covers the way I want them, and just being able to being the one in charge of every story and all the rights and all that stuff. I think that that's something a lot of authors are realizing now that they like too, and I think it's becoming a lot more and more common.
Yes, indeed. So, do you think in the future, if you're given a chance to be a traditional publishing, would you go for it?
Yeah, it just depends on the publisher, and what they want to do, and if they have the best intentions at heart, it all depends on that. But um I'm willing to work with anybody um as long as they want to do something good.
What kind of books that you want more to write, or what kind of genre?
I'm still working on the fantasy right now. I've still got several fantasy books that I've um, some that or one that I'm almost finished with, and several that I've kind of played around with and gotten started a little bit. So mostly fantasy for right now.
Yes. So, what will be your message for those aspiring writers out there to want to publish their stories or novels?
I always say, the short answer, is go for it. If you like to write and you have a story that you think needs to be told, I think you should tell it. And um, just go for it. Work on getting published. Um, if you can go traditional, that's great. Or if you want to self-publish, that's fine. Either way. But if you have a story that needs to be told, I think you should definitely tell it.
Yes, people, we encourage you to publish your novel or do your writing because probably you're one of the best in the making. Who knows? And Mr. Holt, how would you beat procrastinating?
Yeah, that's a tough one sometimes. Just um, I tell a lot of people, just kind of pace your writing in a way that you don't, do too much. If you start doing too much, and if you get a little burnout, you might procrastinate. But I say, write when you can, and other times just take a break from it and kind of give your brain time to catch up. And sometimes the ideas will come to you on the days that you've just decided to kind of rest, and then sometimes you get the best ideas doing that. So definitely, to avoid procrastinating, just kind of pace yourself, at a rate that you're able to go.
Yes, people, stop procrastinating and go for it. And people, please do grab a copy of my latest financial book, Money Matters, Volume 1, Solid Foundation. It's all about a comprehensive guide designed to empower individuals at all stages of their financial journey, from the essential of money management to the more intricate aspect of personal finance. So please do grab a copy, available on Amazon and leading online bookstores worldwide. Money Matters, Volume 1, Solid Foundation. Mr. Holt, can you please invite our listeners to buy all your books?
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, I've got a little bit of a little something for everybody, just about, and I'm working on, making, even more things that appeal to different kinds of people. And so, I encourage you to check out what I got so far. Um, if you want to learn more about my books, you can always Google J. Edwards Holt, or you can visit my website, which is jedwardsholt.com. You can click on books, and you'll see everything that I've done so far. And anytime I publish a book, it's going to be on there. You can also follow me on any of the social media places like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of those at J. Edwards Holt, and you can keep up with it that way. But yeah, that's about it.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. J. Edwards Holt because if you support him, more books to come. Mr. Holt, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Monica people, see you soon.